welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton.
I'm Charlie Neff.
And today we have some pretty interesting stories. The lady who originally sued Jay-Z, there's tapes been released of her conversation with private investigators, which some believe exonerates Jay-Z. It shows that he wasn't involved in any way.
And the leaks are pretty interesting because this comes on the heels of her saying that she stood by her story.
We'll also talk about Sydney Sweeney because it appears to me and to many that she is now single.
Single and ready to mingle and without her fiance at a hotel.
We'll also talk about maybe the most interesting sort of true crime story of the past. I mean, there's a lot of interesting ones coming out. Week. The guy from Ghost Adventures, his wife wanted to kill him, allegedly.
Yeah, and she was working with a guy in prison to make it all happen, but she got busted.
We will remind you, though.
Ooh, you remembered.
Please leave your comments. We are live and in the flesh.
Yeah, yes, and we will be sifting through all your comments, whether you have something you want to contribute about one of the stories we're talking about, or you have something to say about us. Let us know, and our amazing producers, Wild and Branson, are coming through. We'll get to those at the end of the show.
So, to begin with, private investigators visited the house of a Jane Doe who had sued Jay-Z for allegedly raping her when she was just 13 years old. Now, she has since removed her case with prejudice, so she can't file it again. She says that she stands by her claims, but she didn't want to pursue legal action anymore because she was worried about intimidation by Jay-Z's folks.
And she had claimed that Jay-Z sent some people to visit her at her house and talk to her. They apparently went to her parents' house as well. She was really caught off guard, according to her documents, that they knew who she was, that they knew where she lived, and she felt like it was intimidation, but that she stood by her story. And I think we broke that, like a week ago? Well, now there's bombshell audio because there was kind of some there was like two sides as to what had happened when these investigators approached her. It's unclear if this audio is from that meeting, but there's some audio of her where a private investigator is heard saying he was just there, meaning Jay-Z. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you, the private investigator asked. And she said, yeah. And then you hear the investigator saying he was the one.
Busby was the one.
Oh, Busby.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. The woman then is heard saying he was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him with Jay-Z. And then the investigator says, Busby did, and she said, yeah.
So we can't play you the audio here, but you can go and look at it on our website.
You don't think I did a good job?
It's kind of confusing.
Sorry.
But basically, what Jay-Z's team is saying is that this completely clears him, and it shows that she was fibbing because Busby wanted to go after Jay-Z, so he pushed her into a suit she didn't want to go into. Busby, on the other hand, he submitted his own audio to counteract this original audio, and in his one, she's kind of saying the opposite. She's saying, I didn't say what they said I did. Anyway, it appears to me that the story is murky enough that, I mean, you can't think that Jay-Z did anything illegal that night. I mean, it seems that he was there. That's what the woman admits in both tapes, that he was there that night. Whether or not he committed any acts that night, it doesn't seem so.
But also, I think, too, and this, I don't know if this is, illegal, but, if Jay-Z's at a party and he sees a 13-year-old, don't you think you would have some questions? Even if he wasn't involved, obviously, in, the bigger part, which is, the alleged rape and all that stuff, that's super bad. But I can't imagine being an adult at a party and seeing a 13-year-old and knowing the kind of stuff that goes down.
Right.
And not speaking up or trying to look innocent. I don't know. I feel like it's still dicey.
Well, I think that's why Busby wanted to go after Jay-Z because I think it seems like he was probably there.
Yeah.
But and he wouldn't want people to know he was at a big freak off, even if he didn't do anything in the freak off. So what Jay-Z's team believes is that Busby was basically trying to extort them and get all this money, settle to keep Jay-Z's name out of the media.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay-Z refused to settle because he didn't do anything. And so Busby then, comes public with this claim. But, I mean, if you look at the evidence and if you look at what the Jane Doe said, it did look like maybe her first sort of like accusation against Jay-Z was
fabricated.
overly harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good. That's for sure.
On to our next story. Sydney Sweeney is having an extended stay out here in LA without her fiance.
So she's currently in Paris, but before she went to Paris, we were told that she had been staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel since around the middle of February. And her fiance, Jonathan Davino, has not been a part of this extended stay. And remember, we broke the story that Sydney and her fiance called off their wedding 3 months before.
Rescheduled their wedding.
Postponed.
Postponed.
That's the word. Postponed their wedding 3 months before it was supposed to go down, which is very suspicious because you would assume people have made flight arrangements, wherever they're getting married venue has been booked, flowers, the whole thing. That's all stuff you have to plan like a year in advance. So to kind of like pull the rug out from under the plans really like affects a lot of people. I don't know. But we were told at the time, it's like scheduling conflict.
Oh, come on.
She knows her schedule.
Yeah. If you schedule in a wedding, then I think you then work around that. You know what I mean? Like why book it?
You say, hey, I'm not free this day. I'm getting married that day.
Yeah, and I'm Sydney Sweeney. So like make room for me.
But also, I mean, I will say they have been trying for so long to get the next, oh my gosh, what's the show she's on? Euphoria off the ground. They had all these like big stars that came out of the show. Obviously Zendaya, Sydney Sweeney, the hot guy.
Jacob Elordi.
And,
Australian.
yes.
Subscribe to Big Down Under, new podcast by TMZ.
But so they were having a hard time getting all their schedules on the same wavelength to film this. And so now they are filming. So I feel like it could be possible.
Nah.
Yeah, but then also at the same time, she could have just told them, I'm not free this one specific day.
Yeah, a wedding takes a day.
And now here she's at a hotel where we're told she was
By
like,
herself?
hanging out with girlfriends. No, she's hanging out with girlfriends and a bodyguard. So
And also
she's going out without him too.
She's hanging out with Lauren Sanchez by the pool.
Well, remember we saw a photo of Sydney with Lauren and Bezos at one of the Oscars after parties. So we knew that she knew Lauren, but like, oh my gosh, like imagine being in the circle of billionaires and being single. Like that would be a great way to meet somebody.
Oh, I mean, next to she'll be dating Warren Buffett.
Oh God, what a picture.
Okay, let's get on to our last story. All right. The story is a winding path.
Oh, okay.
It all starts with a true crime documentary.
Okay.
A good one called Control Alt Desire.
All right.
Where this guy, Grant Amato, to spoil the documentary, he killed his family because he was down so bad financially, having spent all of his money on a video vixen from Bulgaria.
Okay.
So he was down so much money, having spent like $20,000 a night on this girl that he thought he was in love with, but she was just obviously just doing her job.
Mm-hmm.
So he just snapped, he said, and he shot his family, 3 of them, in the head.
Horrible.
Went to prison. And then he's one of these guys who's proud of his crimes. So he like did video interviews from prison with this documentary team who produced this amazing documentary, came out a while ago.
This guy's a horrible person. Okay.
Horrible person. So a young lady named Victoria Goodwin, she happens to watch this documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And she's having troubles with her husband, Ghost Adventures star Aaron Goodwin.
Okay.
So if you watch Ghost Adventures, it's him and Zach Baggins, right?
Yes.
Touring around the country.
Sidekick. Yeah.
He's the sidekick. So she wanted to get out of her marriage with Aaron. So she contacted Grant, the guy, the murderer.
Behind bars.
And said, hey, could you do me a solid? I need to kill my husband.
Oh my God. I mean, he would be the guy to know how to do it.
Right. And there was a text exchange between them on a contraband cell phone that this guy had behind bars. Well, they confiscated the cell phone when they found it. And
but not knowing there was this murder hire plot.
Just because you're not allowed a cell phone there.
Right.
And then they found all these texts where basically the murderer and Victoria had agreed on $11,515 to hire an alleged hitman.
I can't believe that's the going rate.
It
That's
seems
low.
affordable.
Yeah, it does.
How much is a boob job?
It depends on how good you want it. But yeah, that's about the going price in LA for a boob job.
Yeah, it's either which one do I'm going to pick today?
Boobs, kill my husband.
Right.
Well, you could probably kill your husband, get the money, and then get the boobs.
Well, that's, I think, what she probably had hoped because they found the cell phone. Now they busted her. She was arrested last week and charged with solicitation to commit murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Aaron says, and this is, I don't know why it's kind of funny, he says he was blindsided. Well, you'd hope so. Like, your wife's coming after you.
Yeah. I mean, that would be shocking to learn that your significant other wants to kill you rather than just divorce you.
Right. This is like true crime, like those Russian dolls, like a true crime story within a true crime story within a true crime story. And also it's about the Ghost Adventures guy.
I know.
Who's all about dead people.
About to be a ghost.
It's just like, it's a very interesting tale.
I feel like it's like funny, but it's also like scary and like not okay.
Yeah.
Just why can't they just divorce? Like, why does he need to be dead?
I don't know.
He's such like a sweet guy. At least he comes off on the show like a sweet guy. Like, I don't think he's like necessarily needs to be dead.
Well, maybe she just thought that, you know,
there's no way out.
Or this would be such a big story if he got murdered.
Oh, you think she's thinking of headlines?
Maybe she's thinking about how, like, I be the widow who's, like, mourning. And,
I mean, sometimes they do Google stuff like that. We don't know if this lady did. But...
Yeah, but Victoria,
oh,
better luck next time. Well, not better luck. But you'll be behind bars too with your old mate, with your old mate, Grant Amato. Grant Amato, Victoria will both be behind bars soon.
Yeah, but they split them up.
They'll split them up into,
they won't be in the same prison.
All right, Charlie, let's read out some of the comments.
Sounds good. Okay, for the Jay-Z story, Miss Courtney Renee said, I'd be intimidated also. Money talks.
Yeah, I'd be intimidated by Jay-Z, but she said what she said. Now she's kind of taking it back, saying I felt pressured and I didn't mean it. But yeah, if two private investigators show up to your door, I don't know why she spoke to them without counsel, but she did.
Also maybe she was scared and wanted them to just go away, not knowing that they were recording her.
It must have been a private recording, obviously, too.
Yeah. Joker's Wild said, that's BS. He has been glued to those parties with Diddy for years. Yeah, Jay-Z has been, famously known to be friends with Diddy for a long time. For the Sydney Sweeney story, Bezo Lego said, Sydney is totally down with that mofo, guys. 4 out of 10 on a good day.
Agreed.
Aww.
Is he rich? He's better be rich.
Okay, first of all, girls don't go for guys for their looks. That's not the number one thing we look at.
It is a primary.
It's like, I want to say like third down.
What's first?
Because guys' looks can grow on women. Guys can't see a girl and like her looks don't grow on a guy.
Can't fix ugly.
Well, for a girl, you can't. For like a girl seeing a guy, she feels like, okay, I see the potential. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah,
like Aaron probably looked at you and said, like, I see potential, but then you just didn't
take
the advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a couple miscellaneous comments you guys have, Eminem said, I really wish I could buy some merch for the show or Big Down Under. How about Charlie ×2 crew?
Charlie ×2 crew is
I love that you like made stuff for your Big Down Under show, but did it make any merch for us?
I actually have from time to time. I really like making merch. It's just a funny thing to do. I've made our last days podcast.
Yeah.
Where we talk about like the last days before a celebrity dies.
Yeah.
I actually made merch for them.
I've decided. What about us?
The fan club I've made is called The Last Daisies.
Oh, that's so cute.
There's a wilted daisy on top of a coffin.
What's our fan club?
But we're just like TMZ podcast.
No, I actually the Charlies.
The Charlies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make us merch.
And then our fans are the Charizards.
The Charizards.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in to make big. I want to make fan club T-shirts.
That's cute.
The Charizard fan club.
Yes.
All right, with a picture of the dragon or whatever he is.
Yep, he's orange, right?
Yeah, but we'll make him red and black and white like TMZ.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay.
See, look at
I'm down.
We're workshopping ideas.
Great idea.
Drew said, Charlie, sounds like the Californians from SNL.
Is that a compliment?
No. They're the ones that have that skit where they're like, oh, the 405 and exit Beverly and then get on Wilshire and like that kind of thing.
Have you seen Apple Cider Vinegar?
No.
Oh, it's an Australian show where they always pronounce now.
Oh, nar.
Now. You were doing the now. I thought you'd seen the show because everyone quotes it to me now by doing that.
Oh, is that what they're quoting? I mean, I've seen it on social media. I didn't know that it was coming from that.
Another true crime show.
Oh.
About an Australian true crime. We got criminals down there too.
Well, isn't the whole island criminals?
Oh, stop.
That's the history.
Yeah, we were criminals
You guys
in England.
were banished to the island.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say, with an exception of you, like everyone there is like very beautiful. So it was
Okay,
like the most
Charlie.
beautiful criminals, again, other than you. But
I mean, you're laboring the point a bit too much, Charlie. I mean, it's kind of.
Peach, thank God she got her mother's good looks.
Peach is a very cute
She's
girl.
very cute.
Shout out to Peach if you're listening later.
Peachy, we love you.
Eat your dinner. Eat your broccoli. All right.
Aww.
All the girl likes to eat is nuggets. Nuggets and mac and cheese. It's
you
just
get
like.
the little dinosaur ones?
Yes.
Oh, love those.
Yes, dino
I
nugs.
eat those as an adult.
You eat dino nugs?
Those are delicious.
They're for toddlers, Charlie.
No, they're not. Says who?
They are for toddlers. They're marked. They're the shape of a dinosaur.
They're cool.
right.
Never grow up. Be a kid for life.
All right. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
And we'll see you here tomorrow.
Bye.